Okay, so on page 140, we are learning to play chromatic scales on the piano. So chromatic scale simply means that we are playing all of the half steps, all the semitones, which includes all of the white keys and all of the black keys. So the first thing to know about this is that when we're doing our chromatic scale, we're always going to use the same fingers on all the black keys. And this goes for both the right hand and the left hand. So your black keys will be played with your third fingers at all times. Okay? The first thing we can do is just try playing with your third finger. You can start from the C sharp, then the next black key, next black key, next black key. Always using third finger. Chromatic scales are only played with three fingers. Your first finger, your second finger, and your third finger. And the third finger does most of the work. Now, next, whenever possible, you'll be using your thumb to alternate between the white and black keys. So for example, when we start this, and I'll zoom in here so you can get a better view here, I'm going to start with my thumb on the C, then third finger on the C sharp, then my thumb will play the D, my third finger will play the D sharp, and then my thumb will play the E. If I go back down, I'm going to return with the same fingering. Third finger on E flat, my thumb on the D, third finger on the C sharp, and my thumb on the C. So notice we're just using the fingers 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. So try that. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. Okay? Now, if I were to start on the F, I would use exactly the same finger numbers. Okay? Which would be 1, then 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, then back down, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. If I did this with the left hand, the fingering would also be the same. 1 on the F, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, back down, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. So notice we're just using 1 and 3. However, there are a couple times where you have two adjacent white keys, E and F and B and C. On these two instances, you will have to use your thumb followed by your second finger when doing a chromatic passage that includes both of those notes. So starting from C, let's do the right hand. 1 on C, 3 C sharp, 1 on D, 3 D sharp, 1 on E. Now we use second finger on the F, which allows third finger to play the next black key, like that. Then we can continue. Back to your thumb on G, third finger G sharp, thumb on A, third finger B flat, thumb on B. If we were to continue to ascend, we have another white key as C, which we'll use second finger on. Okay? So essentially, for the right hand, on the chromatic scale, you're always going to use 1 and 3, except for when you have two white keys that are next to each other. In that case, we'll have 1 followed by 2. That happens on E and F, and it happens on B and C. And the fingering is identical when you are descending. So now if we take a look at this exercise here, the chromatic exercise here, we can write in our fingerings as such. So because it starts on a black key, a C sharp, we're going to start with finger number 3, since third finger plays all of the black keys. So I'm going to start by writing all my third fingers in red. So third finger on that black key, D sharp, C sharp, D sharp, okay, on this first segment here. Then I'm going to write my thumbs in blue. And thumb is always going to play all the white keys unless it's F or C, okay, for the right hand. So D natural will be thumb, E will be the thumb, and then I'm going to put my second finger in green here on the F. So that first idea is 3 on C sharp, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2 in the right hand. If we continue, it's going to be the same idea. Third finger on all of the black keys, thumbs on the white keys. So the next example is just 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Starting from F sharp. 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Starting on bar 5, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to mark my black keys with third finger. I'm going to mark my white keys with my thumb. Here I have 2 consecutive white keys, so I'm going to use second finger on the C. Also second on the finger on the C when it's descending. Now here I also have 2 consecutive white keys, which means I have to use second finger on the F, then my thumb on the E, like so. And I can even mark the consecutive white keys so that I know when they occur. So if I were to try that, starting with my thumb on G, then I ascend, 3, 1, 3, 2 white keys, 1, 2, 3, back down, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2 white keys, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3. So that's the finger numbers for this exercise, and it's a nice little exercise to kind of familiarize yourselves with the concept of chromatic scales on the keyboard. We just did the right hand, and now what we're going to do is we're going to determine the fingering for the left hand. Okay? So I'm going to show you a little trick here. The fingering is going to be the same except for the 2 consecutive white keys. Because the hands are mirror images of each other, okay, we're just going to have to flip that. So for example, on E and F, if it's the right hand, thumb is going to be on E, and the second finger is going to be on F. But for the left hand, the thumb is on F, second finger is on E. That's the only change. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to erase my right hand 1 and 2s when they occur, and I'm going to reverse them. So second finger on E, like this, and my thumb on the other notes. But everything else is identical. So I can try this, starting on C sharp, and I can do it an octave lower. C sharp, so 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, because I have 2 white keys in a row, 2, 1. Continuing from F sharp, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. Now measure 5, starting with 1 on G. 1, 3, 1, 3. 2 white keys, 2, 1, 3, back down, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. 2 white keys in a row, 1, 2, 3, 1, and 3. Okay. On the next example, they're having us play this with your non-dominant hand. So if you're right-handed, you play this with your left hand. If you're left-handed, you play this with your right hand. Now, it really doesn't matter because if you look at it, it encompasses C, D, and E, which is always 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, because we never encounter the two consecutive white keys. Same thing happens on this next segment. It goes from G up to B and back to G. So the finger is the same. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. Okay. So this entire exercise is played with just 1 and 3, regardless of what hand you use. Thumb plays the white key, third finger plays the black key. And so try this exercise out a little bit and familiarize yourself with the chromatic passage and pattern on the keyboard. You can even attempt to do what's known as a chromatic scale, a scale built on semitones or half steps. If you're starting from the note C, the right hand will be 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2. Back down 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. If you're continuing, you would use 2. Okay. With the left hand, we'd have 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1. And the chromatic scale is one of the easier scales to learn in the piano. It does take some time to get used to it, but once your muscle memory develops, chromatic passages can be performed relatively quickly with a little practice. So because of this reason, composers do like to write these chromatic passages in music a lot of times. And it creates a nice passage kind of sound and such. So it sounds much harder than it actually is. So have fun with this.